You're listening to the smartest guys in marketing, the best show on the planet for client businesses to learn about traffic, funnels, sales, conversions, and marketing coolness. Chris and Taylor are the founders of Traffic and Funnels, a digital marketing consultancy helping you get paid clients from cold traffic daily. Now, here are your hosts, Chris and Taylor.
You got to be filled up. You can't serve others without serving yourself first. And this flies really kind of in the face of everything that we're taught and how we're raised in the culture. But I'm going to prove it to you, and then I'm going to give you 3 important steps to getting past this. Sound good? Yo, as a side note, just as a side note here, man, we don't ever think about this. Like, we don't ever think about how awesome it is to have access to the things we have access to today. I'm a fan, I love reading old biographies too. So I got this book, Test and Advertising Methods by John Caples, the Robert Collier letter book, obviously by Robert Collier. But I'm also reading a book about these old, it's called Peculiar, I think that's the name of the book, but it's about these old inventors. And we don't ever think about how much these guys went through. I'm reading John Caples, and literally they had to send out 10 different direct mail letters, and it would take them 3 months to really tally up the results. And we can literally put an ad out, and by 6 o'clock tonight, we know which one's the winner. And if you go back even further, you get into Rockefeller and Carnegie and the Commodore, and those guys literally, they would have to send letters by train and ship, and it would be 6 months sometimes before they would hear results back. And it's just if you guys aren't thinking about this every day, man, how blessed we are to be in today's economy with today's technology. It is so, I'm not going to say easy, but it's easier than ever to make a really good living doing what you love to do. And everybody's got problems. We've got problems. You've probably got problems. But man, you could have been born 100 years ago. Just think about that. You could have been born 100 years ago, and it could have been near impossible for you to build a business without ruining everything. Just going to say it. Throwing it out there. That's for free. Has nothing to do with the lesson today. Sometimes I just get amped up about stuff. So here's the deal. Back to the approval of people. Picture Bill Gates, okay? Picture Bill Gates back in the day. You guys, I don't know if you know this or follow him, but Warren Buffett just had their annual, Berkshire Hathaway meeting, and him and Bill Gates are tight. And I've been watching videos about Bill Gates, and they literally just cured polio, cured it. And they have to go 3 years of no polio anywhere for it to be actually documented as cured. But a couple months ago, they solved their last case of polio. And now they're moving on to another disease, and I don't remember the name for it. But Bill Gates, his goal is to eradicate disease from the planet, completely eradicate it. These guys are big, big thinkers. Talk about a mission. Talk about an impact, right? Picture Bill Gates back in the day, building Microsoft. No doubt the engine that would make way for him to be able to do all of these things. Picture him not building Microsoft because one of his friends wanted him to go to lunch or help him move. Picture Bill Gates saying no to the freaking whole world, literally the planet, so that he could help somebody do something that's not really his calling, not really his destiny. This is what people do, though. This is what people do. People ask you for a favor, and you just compulsively say yes because it's too hard to say no. And here's lesson number 1. I'm going to give you 3 things. Number 1, you need to write it down and put it somewhere that you're not going to forget it. Serving others is only possible when you serve yourself. Ooh, did he just say that? Bro, what's got into you? Maybe this is controversial. I don't know. All I know is that when you're on an airplane, they tell you to put your own oxygen mask on first. Because guess what? If you don't, everybody that is depending on you to put their oxygen mask on dies. Because if mama goes down, the kids go down, right? We live in a culture that prioritizes serving, but attacks serving yourself. A lot of people get success and they start feeling guilty because now they have something that their friends and family don't have, and it weighs on them, and they feel obligated to go do stuff for them. And then before you know it, there's this self-fulfilling prophecy that happens, and they get a little successful, and then they just go right back down into the gutter where they started because they're not taking care of themselves anymore. Serving other people is great. We talk about it all the time, but let me tell you something. You got to take care of yourself first. The things that fill you up, you have to do those first, because if not, you will be no good to anybody else. What is that saying? The best gift you can give to everyone else around you is a healthy you, right? Serving others is only possible when you serve yourself. Here's number 2, numero dos. You can explain things to people, but you cannot understand things to people. It doesn't matter how many times you try to explain things to certain people, some people ain't going to get it. And I struggle with this at the beginning a lot. I struggle with it a lot. I would explain it and explain it. Now I try to explain it different. I just wanted people to understand that I did care about them, right? I couldn't help. People would ask me for money and I'd be like, I really do care about you, but I got to put this money elsewhere. People want me to work for them on a Saturday. I want them to know that I care about. But here's the thing. I heard Jeff Bezos say this one time, and it's always stuck with me, because obviously Jeff Bezos is a really rich, wealthy man. And what he says, you should probably pay attention to. He said, you can explain things to people, but you can't understand things to people. You will reach a level in your business if you do not quit. All right, caveat, you do not quit. You will reach a point in your business where the people closest to you will begin to misunderstand you. And you have to be okay with being misunderstood. I don't know how much time I wasted trying to explain things to people they were never going to get. Here's the thing. If your motives are incorrect, then you don't have a defense. If you haven't done anything wrong, you don't owe anybody a defense. So on both accounts, defending yourself, trying to chronically over-explain yourself is not the best case scenario, right? There are probably people in your life right now who care about you, but they just don't understand. They can't understand. They freaking work at Home Depot. How are they going to understand the decisions that you're making for staff to be the greatest? You got to build safeguards and boundaries around yourself and around your approval system, or else this will shackle you to the ground. And I count myself lucky. Chris is lucky. We have, for the most part, supportive families. And I'll be honest, me and Chris were talking last week. We were talking just last week, as if this weren't applicable now to us. We were talking just last week on a family member who hasn't had enough time. And ultimately, it's a decision of I'm prioritizing the impact I'm making on these, 3,000 people over here, and then the 100,000 people listening to our podcast, and then the 120,000 people who get our emails. And I'm prioritizing these people because I'm making such a massive change, and you're going to have to chill out. And it doesn't matter if you understand me or not. I'm going to bed, and I'm going to sleep like a baby, because I know that when I wake up tomorrow, I'm going to go make an impact. And you guys would be robbed if we were like, oh, we can't move on, we can't keep growing because, somebody in our family is unhappy with us because we're not spending enough time with them. Never going to change. You can explain things to people, but you can't understand things to people, and you got to be okay with that. Prioritize what's right above everything else. The topic of today is you don't owe anybody anything. Taylor's getting bold. Number 3, when you write an equation down, okay? I'm going to give you an equation because arithmetic is my favorite. Here it is. Impact times volume equals legacy. Impact times volume equals legacy. And this is what I've gotten used to in making decisions. All right, number 1, what's going to make the biggest impact? What's going to have the deepest level of impact? Because I'm making decisions. We're all making decisions every day about how to spend our time, right? What's going to have the biggest level of impact? And then number 2 is volume. What is going to protect my ability to outlast everyone else? But here's the deal. People think about volume a lot of times in terms of, how many. So when I said impact times volume, probably some of you thought okay, how big is the problem and how many times you solve that problem, right? But what I have in my head when I think of volume is actually linear out in the future. It's a line that indicates how long you can play this game and play it well. And I can't tell you how many people I see who have just an amazing offer and an amazing expertise to offer to the world. And they get in and they burn out and then boom, they're gone. That's no volume at all. Legacy's toast. And so you got to be thinking in terms of, number one, what's going to help them, people the most. This goes for no matter what you do. There are some times when like somebody really, 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 really needs you, and you come through for them because the impact is high. There are some times when it's like, man, I got clients and I got stuff to do, and I'm trying to take care of people here and there, and it's like, no, I can't go get drinks with you right now. I can't go to lunch with you right now. You got to be cool with that because I'm choosing impact right now over comfort. And then you got to think in terms of volume. What's going to protect your ability to produce long enough that you can build a legacy? And I don't know about you, but I want to be doing this for like 100 years. It just doesn't make any sense to me. Like, oh man, we're going to get in and we're going to get out. We're going to make a whole bunch of money and then we're never going to work again. That doesn't sound like a legacy to me. It just doesn't. And I get it. I get people who are like, oh man, lifestyle, like do your thing, sit on the beach, pop your legs up. But I'm like, dude, what about legacy? What if you only did the things that filled you up and gave you energy and made a difference at the same time? How long would you want to do that? Forever. Impact times volume equals legacy. And that means that there are times when I will say no to people because it will actually not give me energy and they'll misunderstand me and I don't care. Thinking of you guys, thinking about people who get the memos, thinking about our team and the people who need me to be 100% so that they can make their impact on and have, their legacy impact is so much bigger, y'all. It's so much bigger than just the money in your bank account. It's so much bigger than helping this person for a week and then you're going to go to the beach because you bought real estate. Impact times volume equals legacy. You don't know anybody anything. Don't forget it. Don't forget it on your sales calls. Don't forget it with your families. Don't forget it. Don't forget it. Don't forget it. Don't forget it. All right, that's all I got for today.